Okay. Crimson Desert Enhanced official announcement trailer has dropped. I'm updating it as we speak. I've sunk like 150 hours into this game. Been live streaming it, and overall, I have enjoyed it, except for the quests. The quests are so unbelievably dry in this game. I feel like it feels like an MMO. It feels like it should have been an MMO because the quests they feel like MMO quests where you're expecting to get more and you're expecting to do more of them. So you read a couple and you get into them, and sometimes they're not super investing. You don't get ultra invested, but you go and do them anyway because it's something to do in the game that you're playing, and it's going to progress you along. It lasted a long time for me, obviously, 150 hours. Let's be honest. That's a lot of time for a game. Some of you out there, I know some of my community members are racking in the high hundreds and over 1,000 hours in the game, which is also pretty dedicated because there's a lot to do in this game. There is an absolute crap ton to do in this game, and it's visually stunning. The environment and everything really carries the game. The combat feels great, but for me, individual who really loves stories, it's kind of a little bit dry. So, excuse me. Apparently, this enhanced edition is the improving the story. So, I've queued it up. Let's watch it, and it's only a minute long. So I don't know what they're going to reveal in 1 minute. But let's look at that, and then we may have a look at the patch notes because what the hell did they do?
Our strength failed us.
Our strength failed us.
You failed us.
That was a brutal
If only I
cutscene.
was stronger.
That was brutal.
If only I. You've survived
Enhance.
countless trials
Enhance.
to reach this.
How can you enhance? How can you enhance something that is already freaking gorgeous? But anyway,
Time. You will surely break the cycle.
You'll
new
struggle,
story moments.
but you'll turn back. Face your fall, because that's the cliff I know.
That was a
Surely
terrible
break the
choice.
cycle.
You'll struggle, but you'll turn back. Face your fall.
This was a terrible one to add into this cinematic for the enhanced edition. This looks really bad. And I know it doesn't look that bad in the game. I wouldn't have added this particular cutscene because that guy that's looks terrible.
Because that.
Look, he doesn't even look like he's actually there. Like it looks. Yeah. I mean, look at Cliff. Cliff looks amazing. I know the guy's on fire, right? He's burning with rage and fury. But he doesn't look right. It looks super weird. I would not have added that to this enhanced edition cinematic. Someone should have.
That's the cliff I know.
I mean, look at this.
If
Look
I
at this.
do their dirty work
What are you
for
doing?
them, I'd better get what I
Look at
need.
that. Anyway, I'm obviously nitpicking, right? Obviously nitpicking. That looks freaking cool. Includes all post-launch updates. So it's a full re-release of the
Even
game,
if the end
basically.
is written,
That's
I
it. It must
will
be a
walk
full
the
re-release.
full length of this path.
New story modes. New story moments. Expanded voiceover. Subtitles and interface. All post-launch content. Up to date. Doesn't say that, but I said that. I don't really care. Okay, look, all these subtitles and stuff. Yo, big shout out. Expanded voiceovers. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 languages. Mint. Absolutely fantastic. I guess if you're one of the people who've been playing it and that's your spoken language, hey, mint. For those of us who aren't, well, we're not getting anything out of that. Subtitles and interface, maybe interface, but it says subtitles and interface. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that's great. Well, I'll have to go and have a look. Post launch content to date, which obviously it really should. I mean, it should come with that. I feel like the bottom one's just a bit of a filler there. New story moments. Well, I guess we're not. If you've already done it, you miss out. You have to replay. I for one, definitely don't. I love the game, but not. And I've only got 150 hours. I'm not restarting it just to get the story moments. the game for me has already, it's done, bro. I'm not doing it again. So if you're a new player, mate, you're gonna, and 20% off. And of course here in small text, which they should have made bigger. I think they should have made it bigger. Crimson Desert Enhanced is a free update for all owners of the base game. And we already saw that earlier on today with what was it? The Witcher 3 with its new enhanced edition. They're also dropped an enhanced title. So pretty good day for people who already own the games. Getting some pretty sweet stuff. Look, that really didn't tell me jack. So it really didn't tell me anything about what's going on. What do we get? What do we get? Is there any patch notes? I know there's no patch notes on Steam. This is. I did have this queued up, by the way. I did load this before starting the video. So yeah. That's what I opened the video from. What is it? Enhanced free. Is a free update to the base game. If you already own Crimson Desert, yeah, we already know that. You already get it free, which is pretty good. New cutscenes. If you've already done them, too bad, so sad. You'll have to start over again if you want to get them. Also, for support, fantastic. That's brilliant. Interface and subtitle support for Arabic. I know I've had a message from the Arabic community, gaming community before. Someone said to me, "Hey man, thank you so much for adding Arabic subtitles to your live streams and your content. No one does that for us. They seem to miss out a lot." So I feel like this might be a really big one. This, I mean, it has been singled out on its own. So, you know, shout out to them for supporting the Arabic gaming community there. Full details, including Crimson Desert, how to please review patch notes. Now, I went here. There's nothing here. It's kind of nothing, to be honest. Cutscenes, which you already know. Game's narrative. 5 new voiceover languages. Yeah, we already know all of this. We hope to make this update a journey through, but more enjoyable for those who have already explored it, as well as those beginning. Well, are you going to have missed out on a lot if they put it in the start, depending on how far you are? So, I don't know how. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Okay, we don't really care where it's rolling out because it's rolling out everywhere, except for Switch. Oh, meow meow meow. Switch doesn't get any joy. Oh well. It is what it is. I don't even think it's out on the Switch, to be honest. Probably turn it to what do we got here? Improved narrative. Yeah, we know this. Added knowledge items, memory fragments, dialogue, conversations. Okay, all right. Some of them were pretty shallow. Some of the bosses were pretty shallow. We already know these voice. Game language, Arabic once again highlighted. So that's a pretty big deal. Involved skilling. Added Abyssal Link as new skill learning resource. I actually didn't enjoy. It's probably that one part of the game that I didn't enjoy was all that Abyss stuff. Like, it reminded me a lot of the, like, you know, have you played Assassin's Creed? Every freaking time you're playing that game, a big one for me was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right? Playing that, I was loving the pirate vibe. Then bam, I've got to be a dude again, and I'm hacking consoles. I hated that so much in the way that it ruined the game for me. I don't quite hate the Abyss Link stuff as much in this game, but it does ruin it for me. I don't really care for it. I don't care for it at all. Improve systems so that skill progression can now be reset individually for each character instead of being reset for all characters at once. Because of the way I played the game, I played Cliff, and I played a ton of Cliff, and I didn't touch any of the other characters. I progressed the main storyline. I finally unlocked Unka, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to play any of the other characters. So for those of you out there who are rocking the other characters, I imagine you find this pretty useful. For me, I couldn't care less. I find using the other characters to be pointless. You don't need them, and they don't add to the experience of playing the game, having them run around. Unless they've improved their AI, because I have done forts with Unka, and he sucks. He's really bad. He stands there and does a whole lot of nothing. So it just annoyed me. And to be honest, I spent like an hour getting cool gear for him. and I made like a two-handed hammer and he didn't even use it. That could be on me. I don't know what I did wrong. He just refused to use the hammer that I made for him. He just kept going back to his default weapon. Really, really annoyed me. Really annoyed me. So, you know, if you're watching this and you're thinking, what should I do when I play? Play the whole main story. Do the grey main quests so you grow your camp, and then do the other stuff. And I say that because you'll have your whole camp and you'll have the other characters unlocked, and maybe you'll get more joy out of having them around. I didn't. I find them useless. They're useless. I could quite easily not do with them. I could take 5 random NPCs to follow me around that I don't even get to equip their gear, and it would be just as enjoyable for me as having those guys around that I've like skilled up. Like they're useless. With the addition of the Abyssal Link, all existing skill projection will be reset first time the game is launched. Any resources previously you learned to skills, including Abyss artifacts, will be refunded. Annoying. Annoying, but I understand the need to do that. They've revamped the skills. They have to do it. They have to do it. So I can see it. To me, the skill tree was just this meh thing that I had to put points into to unlock abilities. I didn't feel like, you know, progressing down a particular tree made my character special. So I really couldn't care less that I have to restat. Me personally, whatever. I'll just put the points back in. I'm getting everything back. I'm not losing out on anything at all. So, yeah, big deal. That's no worries. I can appreciate why they had to do that. Added features that allow you to carry over Abyss links to other in-game currency from an existing save file when starting a new game. Huh. Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. You start your new game. I don't know why you would start a new game. I guess with the update, maybe you want to capture the new storyline. I have no idea why you would bother starting a new game at all once you've played this game. So far from what I've seen, there's no story choices that will alter the way the game plays out. You either do it or you don't do it. So why the hell would you start a whole new game? As I said, obviously you would do it because in this case, you're going to get some new cutscenes. It's literally the only reason I would ever start another playthrough. Added 8 new skills for Cliff. Skills become available after reaching a certain point in the main story. Okay, it'd be kind of cool to see what those are, I guess. But, you know, again, do you need to start the whole game? No, you just keep playing. Improve UI for main quests. Whatever. What else we got? Fix the issue about crafting. Black Star could not be ridden without a cooldown. Okay. Okay. Issue of the player would be sent to a castle after being captured as a wanted criminal. Okay. I haven't had that happen to me, so I didn't come across that issue. Added flying mount controls. Okay. All right. That's pretty handy. So people are going to find that super handy when they do that. I don't have a flying mount, so I haven't bothered to do that yet. So I have no idea about that specific thing. So I'm just going to keep scrolling here. Combat. Because now award you with a double jump as the unexpected gift. Well, I have double jump anyway, so reduced damage received by characters accompanying the player. Again, I hate having them following me around. They're useless, so I've never bothered. It would be better if they added, hey, your NPC will now attack more. It's like whatever. Fix the issue would not be used of flying in the safe zone. Not an issue I came across. Player took damage when their knight was spawned nearby. Ricochet shoulder gloves not applied. Never had that. Each character was thrown off in a different direction from the throwing animation after the skill using Nature's Grasp. I think I had that happen to me. Not to a point where I found it irritating though. Okay, whatever. UI. What have we got? UI fixes. Fix an issue where the contribution UI occasionally failed to disappear during gameplay. With a certain skill acknowledge appeared. No, never had that. Localization. That's great. That's great. I love this. Just making the game more accessible for everybody. Fantastic. 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 What else you got? Fixed the issue. Images of the memory appeared. Like, shield toss for falling. Okay, it's just a whole bunch of... What is this one here? Fix an issue where the musket remained visible on the back when participating in minigames such as Duo with it equipped. I failed to see why that would be a particular problem. Maybe it obscured the view with the Spectre Knight. Spiritual Judgment. Biscuit could get hit by projectiles. Okay. Fix the issue where players were not dismounted while falling from heights under certain circumstances. Never had that happen. I was always yeeted off my horse when I did things like that. Fix the issue of trades goods could not be moved to the horse inventory at the stable. Yes, I definitely had that, and that bugged the crap out of me. Improved images of certain quest knowledge. Fix the issue where the puzzle hints were obscured by tree roots. Never noticed that. Maybe I didn't get to do those ones. Fix the issue certain outfits appeared unnatural. No, not something I particularly noticed in the game. Fix the issue where the crane would break when firing an element-imbued bow at its iron chains during the House Roberts. This is sealed in stone. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I hated that. That's the one we had to use the giant claw to pick stuff up. I hated that, and that felt entirely unnecessary. That could have been a cutscene, and I wouldn't have cared less. I don't know about these chainsaws. Okay. See, this is the thing. The game is so big. I'm not even surprised I haven't noticed half this stuff, because the game is like insanely big. Insanely big. Anyway, well, unless you speak another language and maybe you're starting the game again, this update seems a little bit lackluster. If I hadn't invested so much already in the game, I might start it again, but I'm not restarting my 150-hour playthrough just to see what a couple of cutscenes look like. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my honest take on this. It seems to be really big. It's an enhanced update. It's only, in my opinion, it's only really enhanced if you speak other languages. Oh my God, my dog's biting me. Otherwise, you know, I guess I'm going to have to log in and see what these other things are. Anyway, that's my honest review. Take it as you will. Catch you in the next one. Peace.